Namaste to all of you. Very, very warm good evening to you. And thank you, Anita. That was a brilliant one, though I can't understand so much of Hindi, still I could grasp the beauty of it. Thank you so much, Anita.
Thank you, Amma. Thank you.
Thanks to all my friends and colleagues at HEMA Foundation. Namaste to all of you. And to all the educators and managements and teachers and whoever are present there, up there. And thank you so much for being here with me. I am so glad to invite you all to the HEM Virtues program of value education for educators. And at the outset, let me congratulate all of those who are sitting here who have won several awards from HEMA Foundation, and that all shows your commitment to the cause of value education. We expect that you will be continuing to do so in future also. Let this be an inspiration for all the others, and we are very sure that you will be inviting more and more people to this podium in future too. Thank you very much. Now, the topic gratitude. I am here actually today to talk on the topic gratitude and how we can link that topic of value, that value of gratitude with subjects like science, math, and English. Now, before that, I want to say that this has been a beautiful period, the last 2 or 3 years, that what we have gone through, the years of pandemic, though we struggled and suffered, there was a beautiful lesson that came out of all that is gratitude. Several people, unknown faces across the world, across the country, helped us in more than one way. And at the outset, let me thank each one of them for helping us survive this pandemic. And congratulations to all the teachers, the principals who all stood up and fought it. And gratitude, actually, this word is it's a beautiful word for the simple reason that it establishes a relation between two people. The sayer, the one who says gratitude, and the person who receives it. Between them gets established a beautiful interpersonal relationship. And I believe the research has found out that by extending a word of gratitude to the people, say thank you so much, that creates a kind of a mental happiness in both the people, the sayer and the receiver, and it causes their healthy relationship and also mental happiness. This is what research says. Now, gratitude word per se, it originates from a Greek word gratus. Now, if we recall, in schools, the preschoolers, the teachers in preschool, they all will be teaching the children pleasantries. The very first thing what they teach them is to say good morning, good afternoon, namaste, namaskar, and all that. And uske baad, if somebody gives you something, you have to say thank you. And then the other person has to say no mention, please, or you are welcome. These are the pleasantries our teachers had been teaching this all along as a part of their duty, as a part of their commitment. Now, gratus means thanking people, the Greek word. And that is what we are going to talk about. Now, NEP, the National Education Policy 2020, in the 4th chapter, so beautifully describes, I'm sure you all might have had a glimpse of that by now. It very clearly talks about integration of all subjects and also integration of all values and holistic development, etc., across multidisciplinary approach, different subjects. You have to inculcate or include all of them together and produce value education in that so that the children have a holistic development. That's one. And also it equally insists on experiential learning. That is, whatever the students are learning, they have to experience it, do it, and then internalize it. And then only the kind of a behavior what we expect comes from them. So based on this, HEMA Foundation has started these programs. Last week was Shinu Madam's program. You all have appreciated it so much, like I do. And this is purely for value integration. And Shayad, I would be able to give you a little glimpse as to how you can look into that in an experiential way. I may not be fully successful, but let me try. In science, let me start with science. Suppose I'm a biology teacher, and up there among you, there are several science teachers, social studies teachers, language teachers, math teachers, and you may think that this subject is not related to me. How can I understand that? Please don't think like that. Up to 10th or 12th, you've all learned all the subjects. And so these are simple. It is so very important. And in the light of the NEP, you need to know all subjects. So let us talk science first. The topic that suppose if I am a biology teacher, how do I integrate the value of gratitude to the subject that I am teaching? Let me take a topic, the cardiac cycle. All right. The cardiac cycle is a topic which has been dealt in the class 9th or 10th grade. You have that. Now, when I am teaching that cardiac cycle, there's no way I can deviate from the topic. I have to teach the students. I do teach. In short, let me give you a brief note on cardiac cycle. All our hearts have 4 chambers. We all have learned it from childhood. And the right side of the heart, the right side, and where is the heart? People always say, oh, it is onto the left side. Science says it is not onto the left side, but it is exactly at your center. Slightly maybe tilted to the left, but not exactly on the left side. And between the 2 lungs, right? That's where the heart is situated. It has 4 chambers, an upper chamber and a lower chamber on those sides. The upper chamber of both sides is called atrium, and the lower side is called the ventricle. All right. So this part to your right, that is your right side of the heart, and this part is your left side of the heart. So the unclean blood, that is, which is not purified, that blood enters to your right atrium, that is your upper chamber, through 2 pipes, and they are called superior vena cava, and from below inferior vena cava to the first atrium. That is, in pictures you will see it as blue color. So that is impure blood. That comes, and there is a small valve there. And that valve is called the tricuspid valve. Okay. Now, don't forget about the science behind it. I'm just giving you a brief. The lower part is the ventricle. So the atrium, when it gets full, it just opens the valve and it goes to the ventricle, lower part of the heart. From there, at the middle, you have a small valve, and that valve is called the pulmonary valve. Through that, when the lower part of the right side ventricle is full, it just the pressure makes it shrink, and so the blood goes through the valve, and then it enters the pulmonary artery. Okay, the arteries are known to take away the blood, and veins are supposed to take the blood into the heart. All right. So the pulmonary artery takes this whole impure blood to the lungs, and lungs is doing a beautiful job of purifying the blood. All right. And after purification, that blood comes to the left atrium. Now, left atrium has another valve, like the tricuspid valve here. Here it has a mitral valve. So that opens and goes to the lower ventricle of the left side. Now the blood is oxygenated. It is purified by the lungs. The pure blood comes to the left side of the heart. Now from there is a opening. There is an opening, an artery, a vein opens, and that through that vein, the purified blood goes to the aorta. And from the aorta, the entire body gets your blood. So this is the process that is happening in a cardiac cycle. The beauty is not that. All your teachers would have taught you, you also will be teaching that when the tricuspid valves opens and closes, opens first and it closes. When it closes, you hear a noise, lub. And when the mitral valve closes, you will hear a dup. So the teachers would teach normally the cardiac cycle as the time between lub and dup. Lub, tup, lub, tup, lub, tup. This is how the heart beats. And you know what? 0.8 seconds. Only this cardiac cycle takes place. This is your science. All right. I believe in a day, andas, 1 lakh beats, your heart beats, 1 lakh. And in your lifetime, about 3 billion heartbeats you have. And it pumps out around 6,000 to 7,000 liters of blood in a day. This is what this little heart is doing. The time between one cycle, lup, dup, then lup, dup, that is called a cardiac cycle. You have seen the ECG, X-ray, and all that you might have seen, right? Like it will be saying a V will be coming and a V going up and then coming down like that. You have all seen that, isn't it? It's such a beautiful. This is the engineering of the heart. This is how the engine, the heart works and the science behind it. All right. Now, where can you've taught this, your children understand it. Let me show you quickly a 1-minute video to give you a best example to show you how this heart takes up this. All right. Right now, this one, let me show you this.
This animation illustrates a single cardiac cycle, starting with the right side of the heart. In reality, of course, the two sides of the heart work together at the same time, but it is easier to understand if we look at them separately, because each side of the heart has a different function. The cardiac cycle begins as deoxygenated blood flows from the atrium via the superior.
Is it not showing up?
Vijay ma'am, please stop. Arvind is playing.
Okay, Arvind is doing it. Okay.
This animation illustrates a single cardiac cycle, starting with the right side of the heart. In reality, of course, the two sides of the heart work together at the same time, but it is easier to understand if we look at them separately, because each side of the heart has a different function. The cardiac cycle begins as deoxygenated blood flows from the body into the right atrium via the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. In the next phase of the cycle, the right atrium contracts, pumping blood into the right ventricle through the tricuspid valve. Once the right ventricle fills with blood, the tricuspid valve closes to prevent blood flowing back into the atrium. The right ventricle contracts, forcing the pulmonary valve to open as blood is pumped into the pulmonary artery. Blood then travels to the lungs and the pulmonary valve closes. At the same time, the right atrium relaxes, ready to accept the next intake of blood. In the lungs, the blood picks up oxygen and releases carbon dioxide. Oxygenated blood flows from the lungs into the left atrium, via the pulmonary veins. The left atrium contracts to pump blood into the left ventricle through the mitral valve. Once the left ventricle has filled with blood, the mitral valve closes. Next, the left ventricle contracts, forcing the aortic valve to open, allowing blood to be pumped into the aorta and from there around the body. The aortic valve closes to prevent blood flowing back into the left ventricle, and the left ventricle relaxes, ready to accept the next intake of blood. Cardiac cycle is now complete.
Okay, Arvind, now you can close. Now you see this heart functioning. Is there anybody who's guiding the heart? No one is telling what it has to be doing. 24/7, it is working. Now, if this heart stops for a minute or a second or a fraction of a second, what happens to us? The body that we are taking care of so much with going to gym and yoga, this, that, and all that, flat. It doesn't exist. But this heart is an invisible helper. We don't see it at all. It is working for us without any break. And we think that it is our power, our privilege to live the way we want. And we abuse the heart by eating anything and everything under the sun, by making its valve so thick so that the blood flow through that becomes very difficult. And the doctor says you have a heart problem. And then also the stress the heart takes, and it takes you along. So much it helps you without even asking for a single word of thanks from you. We never realize that. We are thinking that we are great. The attainment, the power, the position that I have today is everything. It is mine. I. Invisibly, this little friend of ours, such a small thing, about 300 to 400 grams weight, this stuff is doing all that beautiful work. Doesn't our heart require a word of gratitude from all of us? Doesn't it? Every morning when you wake up, touch your heart and say, thank you very much for allowing me to sleep yesterday. You could have stopped while I was at sleep. You didn't choose to sleep. You didn't choose to stop. You allowed me to wake up. Thank you very much. Do we ever do that? We never do that. That is what, as teachers, you would be teaching your children. Our mother gave us birth. Do we thank our mother? This heart is something like that, an invisible person helping us all the time. We never help. We never thank them. Only two things. One, the gratitude part, either you need two entities, or you need one entity and one invisible entity. And here it is the invisible entity, the heart, whom we ignore totally. We have to thank the heart for all the time what it is doing. So gratitude starts from your heart. You thank your mother. We thank the heart also for allowing us to stay today, for allowing me to speak to you today. Every second. So as a biology teacher, I will conclude my lessons. After teaching the topic, I will tell them where is the value of gratitude coming in. Can you think of not abusing your heart? Take care of the heart and help us to help the heart. This is what way you will be linking the topic of heart with gratitude. The way how you may ask, how can I show the functioning of the heart experientially? You have several methods today. 3D models, virtual models are all available today. If your schools can avail that, you can ask the children to put those things into those blocks and learn the way they can. All right. And you also talk to the children. Suppose children run very fast. What about the heartbeat? It is not 72 times or 75 times. It is much larger than that. And when you are relaxing, let them experience, show them the blood pressure machine, show them how this is showing a systole and diastole and what it is. All of that you can talk. And if I am you, sitting there, I would call any of my parent who is a doctor, a cardiologist, invite him to the school and give a lesson to the students. This is how gratitude is linked with the science I would teach. Let me say how mathematics comes to the picture. Now, here mathematics to teach value, I have taken the beautiful operation of subtraction. Subtraction of a three-digit number, regrouping the number. All right. Arvind can start that, the second video of it. And you have beautiful videos available to show that. And a three-digit number, for example, you will be seeing that smaller number above and the bigger number down, then how a subtraction takes place. So let us see this video for a while. You will understand what I am saying. Arvind, you can start that video.
Subtraction of three-digit number, regrouping.
Susie has 455 colorful beads. She used 177 beads to make bracelets for her friends. How many beads were left with her? Subtract 177 from 455. Step 1. Arrange the million and the subtrahend digits as per their respective place values. Step 2. Subtract the ones. Since 5 is less than 7, we cannot subtract 7 from 5 ones. So, we regroup 110 to 10 ones. 110 and 5 ones is equal to 15 ones. 15 ones minus 7 ones is equal to 8 ones. Step 3. Subtract the tens. Since 4 is less than 7, we cannot subtract 7 tens from 4 tens. So, we regroup 100 to 10 ones. 100 plus 4 tens is equal to 14 tens. 14 tens minus 7 tens is equal to 7 tens. Step 4. Subtract the hundreds. Since 3 is greater than 1, so we subtract 100 from 300s. 300s minus 100 is equal to 200s. 455
Arvind, you can stop.
minus 177.
Yeah. Now you saw here something. The number, the first place, the 10th place and the 100th place. The operation is subtraction. That is doing away with or becoming nil or minusing something. Now this is a total operation. Now this has to take place in mathematics, correct? If there is any such activity. Now from a smaller number, when a bigger number has to subtract, what if the 10th place number was given to the first place? You saw that they are using beads. This is a beautiful video because they are using beads, and that is your experiential learning. You can allow your children to use beads and remove that. So you are able to see the the beads there or the number there, and then you are slashing it out, removing it from there. So the 10th place is giving number to the first place. The 100th place is giving number to the second place. Did the first number ask for it? Did the 10th place ask for it? Did the third place, if there is a 1000th place, ask for it? No. It happens because a task has to be completed. Now, look at this with gratitude. How do I link it with gratitude? Kindness and gratitude are very closely linked. Very closely linked. Any kindness from someone without being asked has to be reciprocated with that. Subtraction of things from our life is also very difficult. It is a very important value it is showing up. Remove that which is not required for you from your life. That is also a very important value, and someone is helping you for that. The number is helping you without being asked. So when you are teaching subtraction for a higher number from a lower number by borrowing, teachers call it as borrowing. Borrow karne ke liye kisi ko dena padega, right? Somebody has to give it. So the giver is always at a higher realm, and the receiver has to be thankful towards that. The gratitude has to come out from that. This is how you link gratitude in mathematics. Now, the experiential part of it, if you want to link it with the value integration, you can always use beads like how they have shown. Or else, if I am a teacher, I don't have that kind of a facility in school to collect the beads and teach. No harm. You have 14 children in a class, call the students, make them into groups, allow them to stand in front of them and remove the children one by one. When you remove certain things, you are having a place, and that place, generation of that new place is actually equal or worthy of showing gratitude to people. So a role play in a class is also an example for you to show the value of gratitude. Now, let me pass on to the English lesson. English, we have something called suffixes. We teach suffix in school. That 4th standard or 3rd standard, we have that. Full. We use the word full, grateful, helpful, wonderful. Arvind can just quickly start that video in English. We'll just show them few examples and then stop that. Play, playful.
Grammar.
You have that.
Suffix.
Have a look at the words below. Add words to the first set of words to make a meaningful word. Let's try. First, enjoyable. Second, treatment. Third, careless. Fourth, teacher. Fifth, joyful. Word added at the
Arvind,
end
can
of
you
a
stop for a
base
while?
or root word is called a suffix.
I want to come in here.
Example,
Arvind, please
enjoy,
stop.
treat, care.
Yeah, here you saw joy. Joy is a word. Play is a word. Wonder is a word. Now this play, etc., or care, etc., these are words which show some action, some process, right? And when you add a word full to it, what is happening is that it is raising it to a level, a state of mind. Say, for example, joy. Joy becomes joyful. That is a state of mind. It is an elevation in the meaning. You are no more talking a process, an action, or a verb or something like that. You are talking the meaning of that word has been a little bit elevated to the next level. All right. Wonder, wonderful. Care, careful. Play, playful. Joy, joyful. All these words, whichever you saw here, they're all showing a little different meaning to the word. Now, has anyone asked these suffixes you come in and help? No, nobody has asked, but they are being added to give a different line, different meaning to the word. All right. So they are a sort of a helping the word, like joy is allowing a suffix to join with it and to take a different state of mind, a joyful mind, right? A careful attitude, okay? A playful atmosphere. So it is differently raising the meaning of the word there. So that changing of the word without being asked is also worthy of mentioning a word of thanks. All right. So when you talk about English, such suffixes are there. So many suffixes are there. People will like here, treatment was a thing. Enjoyable was another word like that. You have several words. So what you can do when you teach such a subject in grammar, or suffixes come in grammar. So when you teach that, what you could do is that as teachers, you could ask the children, divide them into smaller groups and tell them to locate such words which have that elevating meaning possible when you add a suffix. Dictionary de do unko, aajkal they all are used to Google the, but then you allow them to go through the dictionary, pick up those few words, 10 words. Each group will pick up 10 words, find out their suffixes. You have so many words with so many suffixes, 50 words altogether if you have 5 groups. Use those 50 groups with suffixes in a composition, English composition. If it is a Hindi subject that you are doing, similar grammatical things also will be there. In languages, it is very possible for you to do that. So this is how you experience what you teach, experience how you integrate values with the subject. So what I would like to say at the end of it, I'm concluding the session. What I would like to say is that there are several people in the world whom we have to be thankful. We do not know who's all helping us. Suppose we are sick. Suppose we are not doing well in the hospital or something like that. There are several hundreds of people across the world praying for you. Do we know that? They don't know us, or they may not be even in touch with us on a regular basis. They will be doing something. A person, a farmer who's producing so many harvests in so many places, the food that we eat is coming from such a farmer whose face also we don't even know. Do we say any thanks to anybody? There are some religious practices in some community. Before the food is spread in front of them, they stop for a while and they thank the God. I would say more than the God, thank the people who help you get that food on your plate. Some people keep some food on the right side or left side of their plate so that the insects or something can eat that. You know, so much of cultural value is allotted for gratitude. We have to be thankful, starting from the mother who has taken us in her womb. 9 months, 9 months, she has held us so closely to her. We have to be thankful to her. That's the first thing. That is a person whom we see, the entity in front of us on a daily basis, thanks the mother. Thank you to the mother. The other thing, invisible entity, which you have to thank right now when we are alive, is those 4 people who will be taking us on our final journey. We are not going to see them. We are not going to see them, but there will be those 4 people. We can't thank them then. Right now, thank all those invisible people in your life, invisible materials in your life. Thank everyone. Teach your children to be beautiful people with a word of gratitude in their heart. use such tasks. Maybe one word alone I will want to say. I would say what you could also do. See, Hema Foundation is giving you a lot of opportunities to come onto this platform and win several awards. If I am you, I would take up the science teacher, math teacher, and English teacher. Form a group of them. Take a task. Go to the people, interview those people who have helped you during the pandemic and how they helped. The English teacher can help you create a questionnaire. The math teacher can help you how it can be. The science teacher can help you to understand how dangerous this pandemic was. And take your children, take an interview with the mayor, the paramedic staff. Why your own principal? Take an interview how they handled the situation. Record all these things, take videos, keep track of all these things. You are there for Hema Foundation now, ready for an award. So take care of yourself, take care of the family. Thank all those people who help you. Go to your classes, teach them subjects, touch their lives. Thank you very much. God bless you.